It never, ever fails. The politics within the sport of boxing, the politricks within the sport of boxing, never, ever fails. The World Boxing Organization, better known as the WBO, rears its ugly head once again in the politricks, preventing a major fight from happening. Former undisputed light heavyweight Russian superstar, top 5, top 10 pound for pound best fighters in the world, Dmitry Bivol. 24 wins, 1 loss, no draw, 12 wins by way of knockout. He hasn't fought since February 22nd of 2025, where he rematched and defeated and avenged his loss against former undisputed light heavyweight Russian superstar boxer, who is also top 10 pound for pound, the best 2 light heavyweights in the world, Artur Beterbiev. With the identical scorecards that he lost to Artur Beterbiev with in October of 2024. He avenged that. But then he suffered a back injury. But upon suffering the back injury, before that, the World Boxing Council, better known as WBC, 48 hours after beating Artur Beterbiev, on February 24th, they stripped him of the WBC title and gave it to the Mexican Ecuadorian undefeated, now 3-division world champion, David Benavidez, who was also top 5 pound for pound best fighters in the world. Then, now, Dmitry Bivol was supposed to have the trilogy with Artur Beterbiev, suffered a back injury, had to have back surgery. Now he's been out the ring for over a year. He's coming back next Saturday against Michael Eifert, May 30th, right? Just a comeback fight. 13 wins, 1 loss, no draw. Tune-up comeback fight for Dmitry Bivol. He's still the IBF, IBO, and WBO. So he don't have the WBA belt anymore. He stripped of that belt. He doesn't have the WBC belt because he stripped of that belt, right? And now the WBO says they're not going to allow their belt to be on the line against Michael Eifert because the unfortunate chain of events between Russia and Ukraine. Although they had no problem letting Artur Beterbiev, who is Russian as well, represent their sanction body and defend his title because they said he represents Canada. Well, Dmitry Bivol, birthplace is Kazakhstan in Russia or Ukraine, wherever it's at. And he recognizes Indio, California in the States. So what's the difference? There's no difference. Now, the WBO has decided that David Benavidez, who went up to cruiserweight and became the unified champion there and a 3-division champion at 29 years of age, made a statement, 32 wins, no loss, no draw, 26 wins by way of knockout at 29 years of age against Gilberto Zurdo Ramirez on May 2nd. He's announced that he's coming down. He's having conversations. He's still the WBC, WBA light heavyweight champion. He wants to unify the IBF, WBO belt and ring belt against Dmitry Bivol next in September, right? And now the WBO decides that's not going to happen because should Dmitry Bivol get past Michael Eifert next Saturday, he's going to be ordered and or stripped of his WBO title if he doesn't face off against Callum Smith, who's 31 wins, 2 losses, no draw, 22 wins by way of knockout, who was supposed to fight, get this, was supposed to fight David Morrell for the mandatory position, but pulled out the fight due to a quote-unquote injury. David Morrell goes on and fights somebody else and loses. And now Callum Smith, miraculously, is healthy and is going to come back. And now the WBO says immediately immediately after Dmitry Bivol wins the fight, he has to begin negotiations with Caleb Smith, or he's going to be stripped of the belt. So that means David Benavidez will have to fight Dmitry Bivol to unify the belts, because he only going to have the IBF belt. And then still have to fight Caleb Smith if Bivol chooses to just go ahead and fight David Benavidez. So David Morrell, who's 12 wins, 2 losses, no draw, 9 wins by way of knockout, fights Zach Chelly, loses in the 10th round of a fight he was winning as a replacement for Caleb Smith. Caleb Smith gets the opportunity to not fight, don't have to fight nobody, and still gets his opportunity. And David Benavidez still has to wait. Or Bivol can fight Caleb Smith, which means Benavidez going to have to wait even longer. So either Dmitry Bivol chooses to fight David Benavidez next, just for 3 belts, and get stripped of the WBO, or he can fight Caleb Smith, hope to keep it, and hope politics don't red. It's just nasty work, bro. I'm sick and tired of these sanction bodies standing in the way of the big fights. And y'all wonder why Zuffa Boxing is celebrated by myself. I'm sick and tired of these sanction bodies, man. I'm sick and tired of the damn politics within the sport of boxing. Caleb Smith needs to wait his turn. Period. Then that's all I got for y'all, man. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all one word. I'm gone. Peace.